So I'm now in a research lab here at Guy's Hospital with Professor John McGrath, who is the guru into EB research here in Great Britain and a leading light in the worldwide field. Professor, hello.
Hello.
Just for everybody who doesn't know, can you explain to us what EB actually is?
Well, EB, or to give it its full name, epidermolysis bullosa, is a group of genetic skin conditions. That means some people are just born with faults in the genes that make their skin hold together normally. So if you touch the skin or you injure it in any way, instead of just bouncing off and not doing anything, what happens with EB is that the skin is fragile, it blisters. A little bit of injury makes the skin fall apart, and that's what EB is all about. We spent a long time trying to understand EB and work out exactly what's going on at a gene level, and over the last 2 or 3 years we've started to move forward to think, well, let's not just find out what's going wrong in EB skin, let's do something about it, let's try and fix it. And as you say, clinical trials are what we're trying to push for now. So we have been raising money, raising science, into a state where we can actually deliver something back for people who are living with EB. So we're trying to get clinical trials together, and that means doing things that can repair the skin to correct those genes that cause the skin fragility, and I think we're making good progress.
Presumably, even though we're here specifically to talk about EB, what you find about skin regeneration and healing can be used in other fields?
Well, that's right. Many of the lessons that we're going to learn from EB are going to have much broader implications too. For example, for a patient with burns, for leg ulcers, and a whole host of other conditions that we see very frequently in our skin dermatology clinics.
So I've talked a little bit about Sahana, this beautiful little girl I've met recently. There's a research fund set up in her name. What sort of impact has the Sahana Research Fund had into the research for EB?
So the funding that we've got from the Sahana Research Fund has been fantastic. Money has been raised to go straight towards clinical trials. So beyond basic research, which we have funded by many other sources, into real clinical trials that can make a benefit for patients. For me as a researcher, it means that if the money is guaranteed for a clinical trial, I can focus on all the other important things like the regulatory approvals, the ethics, and all the hospital requirements of setting up a clinical trial. So having the Sahana Research Fund contributing funds means we get a flying start to any clinical trial that we want to do. It means we can do the trial much more quickly, find the results from that, and move on to the next trials and get closer and closer towards that cure.